back to Eva's Kitchen. I'm Eva and this is Eva's Kitchen. And today we have a cabbage. But we won't be doing a traditional steamed cabbage or soup. We're going to do something totally different. I know you're curious, but today's menu is going to be cabbage pie. And before we get to that, let's do our tip of today. So our tip of today is red delicious apples. September was apple month, an apple a day keep the doctor away, and it also helped in aiding with cholesterol. So let's indulge in eating more apples every day. So let's get started on our cabbage pie. Okay, our ingredients for our cabbage pie, of course, is the cabbage. We have a cup of parsley. We have a half a chopped onions. I sauteed them and I kind of cooked them down a little bit because I didn't want to put them in raw. We have a cup of flour. We have crushed black pepper. We have a nutmeg. We also have complete seasoning, kosher salt, red crushed peppers, 3 eggs, and I have my salad spinner to clean my cabbage with to drain all the water out of it once I wash it and clean it. And always wash your hands because today we're going to be mixing with our hands for the cabbage pie. So okay, let's start chopping our cabbage. I'm going to cut it down the middle. We're going to take the core out. I take the core out. We take that out because it's bitter. And we don't want to cook that, and it's kind of hard to cook. So, I'm going to turn the cabbage on its side. And I'm going to start with the smaller one first. And we're going to shred it, chop it, like so. Okay, we put the cabbage in the salad spinner, just in case you never used the salad spinner before. You put your cabbage inside after you wash it, and that's to take the excess water out of it, so we don't want any water in it. And you just take it and pull it like this, and it get all the extra water out. So, and I did a good job. I only had a little bit of water left. So we're gonna take that and put this away. As you can see, I didn't use all of that cabbage. This is how much I had left. So, what I'm going to do next, I'm looking to make sure I don't have any chunks of cabbage in here and that everything is chopped finely. So if you find any big chunks or anything, just take your knife and make it as nice and fine as you can. It won't hurt anything if you do have it, but we're making a pie. So, have you ever made a cabbage pie before? Leave me a comment down at the bottom. I was going through my recipe book and I said, oh, cabbage pie. Let's try one. So this is going to be my first time making it with you guys. So I have 3 eggs. And I'm going to crack my egg. I might not use 3. So I'm going to see. I'm going to start off with 2 and see how we do. And I'm going to scramble it. Got the egg nice and scrambled. And before I put the egg in, let's get our herbs in. I'm just tearing a couple of pieces up with my hand. So, I'm going to get my measuring spoon, and I'm going to put in a tablespoon sprinkle high. Oh, when I say sprinkle high, that means it goes all the way through, and you don't have to dump it in and you get more of it. I'm only going to use 1/4 teaspoon of crushed peppers. I don't want it too spicy, but just a little kick. Sprinkle high. And I'm going to put in the palm of my hand, we call this a pinch. I'm going to pinch in a little nutmeg. Nutmeg is very potent, so you don't have to use a lot of it unless you're making your pie. So I'm going to pinch in a little bit, and the oil from my fingers goes through there. And we're going to use a tablespoon of kosher salt. Now you can use any salt that you want, but kosher salt is a little finer. And I'm just going to use kosher salt instead of table salt.
A little coarser.
Coarser. I mean, not finer.
Coarse.
Coarse.
Yeah.
And excuse me if I say the word a little bit that you didn't understand. It's my southern drawl. But it's coarse. So I'm going to mix this well. See how you can see the peppers and all the ingredients in there? And before I put in the egg and the flour is going to bind this together. Oh, let me get the onions in. We don't want to forget that because that's where the flavor is going to come in. And we're going to put in our parsley.
Parsley have a taste?
Parsley doesn't have a taste. It tastes a little bit. You can taste a little bit. It almost has a little fiery taste, but it's not sweet. Let's taste a little bit and see can we. It's kind of bland, but it does. You know you're eating something different because it has a little bit of hard to describe. I don't want the stems in there, but if you can get fresh parsley to make this, it's better. But if you don't have it, just get some parsley flakes. It'll work just as well. Okay, now we're going to put in the egg. I started out with 2, and after I blend it together, I'll see if I need another egg. Because we want this to stay together.
So it's going to be like an actual pie?
This is going to come out just like
you can slice it?
This is going to be like a sliced pie. Almost like pizza. Like a pizza pie. Pizza? A cabbage pizza. My director was curious. My producer, my daughter, she never saw me make a cabbage pie before. See how all that egg is getting through there? And that's what we want. You take my hands. I wash my hands. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. Now see, it's kind of wet. So the flour is going to come in.
So it's like binding it.
And the flour is going to bind it together. And wait to see what we're going to top it with. So while I'm doing this, let me wash my hands, and then I've got to turn my stove on because I need... Okay, my producer and I, April, my daughter, we was just discussing. She wanted to know, Mom, why didn't you just use cauliflower? And I said, well, we'll practice on that one to see how a cauliflower pie would come out. Well, let's start with this cabbage pie first. So I have the flour in. Remember, I only put 2 eggs. So I'm gonna put a little bit more. I'm gonna put this whole cup in, and I might need a little bit more because we want this to bind together. And I'm gonna use my hands to bind together so it'll stay together when I get ready. I'm gonna put it in. I have my skillet. Use a non-stick Teflon skillet, and I'm going to put in some olive oil. You can use any olive oil of your choice.
It's kind of like little cabbage cakes.
You can make it
like
as
potato
a.
cake?
This is going to be made like a pie, a piece of pie, not like a pancake. A little bit like a pancake, but not like a pancake, but a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit more flour in here. I used a cup of flour, so it looked like I need about 2 tablespoons more. And all right, I'm going to, my skillet, I got it warmed up a little bit. So I'm going to put some olive oil in here. I think that's about 1.5 tablespoons. We're not, it's going to be like we're frying it, but we're not going to fry it. I'm going to take my brush and go all around. And I'm putting up here just in case. Now I need this oil to heat a little bit before I put the pie in. Okay. I'm testing for the heat because when I put it in, I want it to sizzle. Okay, we're gonna put it in. Okay, I hear the sizzle. Always listen out for the sizzle because that's what we're gonna need. Now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna form it into like a pie shape, like a 5 by 10 or 8 by 10 pie shape. And it's gonna cook for on medium high for 10 minutes until it gets a nice crust under the bottom. And then we're gonna cover the lid. Now, I forgot to say you can use any kind of flour you like in this. It doesn't have to be just regular flour. You can use any flour that you like because there's a lot of alternatives of flours out there. So, you hear the sizzle? Make sure you hear that sizzle before you put it in. So, I'm going to let it cook on medium high for 10 minutes. And we'll be right back and see what we're doing. And then we'll flip it over and do the other side. Okay, let's see what we got. It's been about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna take it and slide, voila. Wonderful. When it comes off into the pan without falling apart, you did good. So now I'm going to take this and flip it. Whoa, look at there. And cook the other side. That's the pie. Put the lid on, got 7 more minutes, so we'll be right back. Okay, we got the lid off. I think it's ready, so let's take it and slide it. Look at there. Look at there. Push it back a little bit. Let it cool a little, just for about a minute or so. We're gonna let it cool before we top it. So this is what we call a cabbage pie. We're going to put a little bit of crushed black pepper. You can mix it with the mix or you can put it on top. So I'm just gonna crumble it on the top. That looks like a pizza, doesn't it? That's our black pepper. And we're gonna sprinkle some bacon bits on it to give it a little bit more flavor. Put a little bit of bacon bits. And when it cools, when it cools a little bit, I'm gonna top it with a little bit of sour cream. We did it. We have our cabbage pie. Now, I chose to put bacon bits on the top, but you can put any type of meat that you want on your pizza, on your cabbage pie. I have a little bit of sour cream. So I'm gonna, you can dollop a little bit on the top. That should be good. So let's cut it and see what we got here. It's not all the way cool yet, but I'm going to choose to eat this hot, not cold. And this is my dinner. You see the bits of onions in there? Let's have a taste. Oops, knocked over the sour cream. I want to put a little bit on top of mine just to see. Oh, it's delicious. It is delicious. You know, you almost don't even get a cabbage taste with the sour cream. It is and the bacon bit, delicious. Excuse my mouth. The sour cream really enhanced the flavor of the cabbage. So, if you like what you see, tell a friend. Subscribe to my channel. Remember, I'm Eva, and this is Eva's Kitchen. And I hope you try this at home and enjoy it. And when you're watching my channel, try to view the whole thing out. It helps my channel out. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.